So what is bartending? Is it about the bartender or is it about the drink? Both, right? Obviously. But I fear that we are reaching a fork on this road where we have to choose either the bartender or the drink. You see, pre-batched cocktails are better by every metric than freshly prepared cocktails. That's from a business standpoint, of course. Building fresh cocktails is expensive. You need to hire multiple bartenders. It takes time to make cocktails. You need to buy a bunch of fresh produce to make fresh cocktails. Fresh produce is expensive and it has a short shelf life, but it's also inconsistent because Greg's Manhattan is not like Lori's Manhattan. Hell, Greg's Manhattan on a Saturday is not even the same as Greg's Manhattan on a Tuesday. And that is a problem that a pre-batched program can fix. It can fix all these problems, in fact. Pre-batching is when you make the cocktail in a large quantity before the service. And with that comes consistency, spillage and waste reduction, speed of service, a higher quality, more complex cocktails, if you will. But also shelf stability. 4 weeks in a nitro keg, 6 months in a milk pun, over a year in a freezer door cocktail. So hooray. We've done it. We cut labor costs, reduced waste, maintained consistency and sustainability. Hell, we even increased the quality and complexity of the cocktail. But at what cost? I fear that we may have sacrificed the art in the process. The beauty of watching and listening to a bartender in the weeds, around building 4 cocktails, double shaking, stirring, chatting up the guest, taking an order, jiggering, spilling, bar back shoulder checking, the bartender dumping some ice, refilling the ice. The energy in the arts is no longer there. The lights are on, but no one's home. But some would bring up the fact that less than 10% of the guests choose to sit at the bar. The other 90%, they want a good table, they want their drinks fast, cold, and pretty. In other words, 90% of the guests are here for the drink, and only 10% are here for the bartender. Sad, tragic, disappointing. It is also important to acknowledge that not everything can be calculated into a number. Because although the 90% of the guests are not directly experiencing the art at the bar, they're subconsciously enjoying it and experiencing it from a distance. They can hear the shake coming from behind the bar. They can hear the bartender babble from a distance. It's mumbles, but it's there. They can hear the bar back dump the ice in the ice well. Subconsciously, they're in the room and they won't appreciate it or feel its presence until you take it out of the room. They won't like it. I think right now we have a healthy balance in cocktail programs where a lot of the bars are dabbling a little bit in the pre-batched, still preserving the freshly built aspect to some extent. We still have warm hospitality and good flair behind the bar, but I fear that over time, as pre-batching gets better and better, the greed will drive the industry into having less and less bartenders behind the bar as they automate their programs over time. So I guess if I were to reduce my argument into one question, it would be, is bartending an art worth saving? I think you should sit at the bar more often, you fuckers.